The PDC's Premier League Darts Night in the Netherlands has now been running for nearly a decade, and during that time it's produced some memorable moments, most notably Raymond van Barneveld's emotional walk-ons in front of the Orange Army. But backstage, Raymond, and nearly every player that's ever played there, has raged about the conditions, as there's a clear breeze on the stage every year they go there. Hello and welcome back to the Darts World channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the full story of why every player seems to hate the Rotterdam Premier League Darts Night. The Premier League was launched back in 2005, with the first few seasons being held at modest venues, beginning with the King's Hall in Stoke, which only held a few hundred fans. But as the league became more and more popular, eventually only big venues were being used, but only in the UK until 2012, when Dublin was added, becoming the first venue outside of the UK to host a Premier League night. More history was then made in 2016, when a night at the Ahoy Arena in Rotterdam, the Netherlands, was added to the calendar, becoming the first venue outside of the British Isles to host the night, and it would host the key final league night. The venue's 8,000 capacity sold out for the darts within an hour of the tickets going on sale. On the first Rotterdam night in 2016, a key game was Adrien Lewis versus Gary Anderson, with early results meaning that Lewis had to pick up just 2 legs to qualify for finals night, which he managed to do before going on to win 7-2. You'd assume he would have been happy with everything, but after coming off stage he said the following in the media: "I'm just glad to be through, to be honest. The wind was honestly really bad. Call it breezegate or windgate if you like. The darts were landing at funny angles. I had to change my aim by an inch to compensate for the wind blowing." He wasn't the only one to call that out either, as in the game before that, which saw home hero Raymond van Barneveld draw with Peter Wright, it was clear that Barney wasn't happy with the setup either, and he was furious in his post-match press conference.
Zeker weten, maar het zou nog mooier zijn als alle deuren gesloten waren, dat er niet zoveel tocht was geweest. Dat was nog mooier geweest. Net met James gesproken, met Robert. Maar er stond zo verschrikkelijk veel tocht op het podium dat er gewoon echt van een normale wedstrijd ging. Ja, ik word het eigenlijk een beetje zat, want ik zeg gewoon wat ik denk.
Kun je er iets doen op het podium?
Ja, je kunt gewoon niks doen. Kijk.
On commentary too, Wayne Mardle revealed that the players in the first game were also unhappy.
Robert Thornton and James Wade come off and they said that there was a draft and I clarified that with the referee of that game, Russ Bray, and they said that there was some kind of draft coming in from the right to the left-hand side.
But instead of the PDC choosing to move away from the venue, they instead chose to keep it on the calendar, and a few years later, in 2018, it was chosen to host 2 nights rather than 1 after the Exeter night was cancelled due to a storm. With no night cancellations, the PDC still chose to host a doubleheader at the Ahoy in 2019, with the second night acting as the relegation deciding judgment night. That year, there were contenders, players who only played for 1 night, and on night 1 in Rotterdam, Dimitri van den Berg got the call-up to face James Wade and managed to go 2-0 up on the machine. But then it was clear that Wade was angry at the breeze, and he managed to convince Dimmy, who also noticed it, to leave the stage. The players returned to the stage a few minutes later, and the high-quality game finished 6-0, with both players averaging over a ton. Dimmy revealed his thoughts about the incident in his post-match press conference.
It looked as if you didn't want to come off at that time.
Of course not, that was 2-0 up. But I still don't understand what he was coming from. I did felt a lot of wind on my body, on my arm. I did saw my darts going weird into the dartboard, but they were still going in, you know what I mean?
The final game on that night saw Van Barneveld take on Gurney, with the Dutchman needing a home win to avoid relegation. However, he was beaten 7-1, averaging just under 82 in a poor quality game and a poor quality night in general, where the overall average was 93.52, comfortably the lowest of the season. Backstage, Barney said the following to the media: "I'm not going to say anything about it because it's not allowed. I throw with 21 grams, but they don't fall." Gurney said it after the match: "I go on the stage and the darts are a bit off the treble 20. Now if we fast forward to 2023, Johnny Clayton beat Chris Dobie 6-4, averaging 100 to reach the semi-final, where his average fell to just 88 in a 6-1 loss against his Welsh World Cup teammate Price. Following that poor performance, the usual quiet and well-mannered Clayton put out a shocking tweet, cussing the conditions and saying that there was gale force wind on the stage. he emphasised that the players were playing for 250 grand and not a coconut. He swiftly deleted the tweet. In the final, Price, who averaged 100 against Clayton, averaged 88 himself in a 6-4 loss against Nathan Aspinall. Gezi then put out his own post on his famous Instagram story, saying that the Rotterdam crowd were great as always, but the conditions absolutely weren't. On that night, Van den Berg also said that there was significant wind on the stage, saying that he was having to move over to the left on the jockey to compensate. Last year, in Nathan Aspinall's nightly winner interview, he was asked more about the conditions in the Dutch arena than his second nightly victory of the campaign. The ass explained that he couldn't say too much, but the conditions were bad and it was very windy. Nathan joked that maybe he won because he throws one of the heaviest darts of the Premier League players, and that he should maybe get his own fan to blow from the side of the stage. In his interview backstage, Gwyn Price also explained that the wind was making it much harder for the players who use lighter darts. He said that it was the same in Rotterdam every year, but that he didn't know if the issues were to do with the shape of the arena or some doors being left open. This year, it was revealed how Luke Litler, who'd experienced the conditions last season, had adapted his darts for the venue.
Luke Littler is using darts 3 grams heavier than normal. They are 26 instead of 23. What do you make of that, Laura?
I mean, obviously, the one thing he mentioned was the fact that the conditions he found it last year, they didn't quite work for his setup. He's trying something slightly different.
Luke survived a match dart from Rob Cross, who missed his favourite double 18 by an uncharacteristically long distance, allowing the Nuke to win in a deciding leg with a 1-4-5 checkout. Earlier on in the night, Gwyn Price had also lost to Nathan Aspinall, and after their games, both Cross and Price were angry, with Rob reportedly raging backstage. Gwyn went more public, posting another Instagram story saying the following: "Gutted for myself, gutted for everyone that supports me. I'm so sorry, but this week was pointless, and we move on to next week. Darts were blowing everywhere, and after leg 1, which was lucky, I knew it was pointless. And where I was in the league after Vital Points, it's not what I wanted. Hopefully the PDC will now stop coming here and look for alternative venues. Not good for the players, not good for the fans, and not good for people that like a bet. On to next week, where we get to play in decent conditions." In response to the complaints this year, a spokesman for the PDC said the following: "We have worked with the venue to minimise the effect of any air movement, which has been acknowledged by a number of players in tonight's event, who have said that conditions have improved from previous years." Now, it's obvious that the PDC want a Premier League night in the Netherlands, and I think the fans deserve it, and that there should be one, but surely they can look for alternative venues. Let me know what you think they should do in the comment section down below, and if you enjoy this video, please don't forget to subscribe, as currently just 15% of my viewers are, and it really helps the channel out. You can also hit the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever I upload a brand new darts video. Please also leave a like if you learned something new in this video, and if there's a topic you want me to cover, let me know in the comment section down below.